Welcome to the Note to Self podcast. I'm your host, Zoe. I'm a certified professional life coach, serial entrepreneur, verified YouTuber, and published author. On this podcast, you can expect actionable tips, reflections, and inspiration to live your best, most fulfilling life. So, let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Note to Self. Today's Note to Self is how to actually experience freedom. Freedom is one of my favorite subjects to talk about, so you can be sure that today is going to be a very potent episode. So, as you're listening to this right now, I encourage you to think about what freedom means to you. What is your personal definition of freedom, and what does that look like? Because what I'm about to share might not be what you actually think freedom is. And this is something that I learned in my certification through IPEC, the Institute of Professional Excellence in Coaching, where we really dive into energy and the psyche and how us human beings operate and how us human beings actually experience freedom is when we have the ability to make a conscious choice. So, a conscious choice is when we feel 100% energetically engaged in our decision and we move forward with that. So, that is actually how we feel freedom as human beings. Freedom, I could perceive if you were to ask me, like, Zoe, when do you feel the most free? I'm like, maybe when I'm cruising on my scooter through the jungle in Bali, listening to Kygo or something. Like that could be my perception of freedom. Or when I'm on a boat in the ocean, cruising and the wind is there, good tunes are playing, right? So, like, that can be sort of the energy of freedom that I feel into. But how we actually experience freedom and when we feel the most free as human beings is when we feel like we have conscious choice. So, for example, conscious choice could look like, or you could feel like you aren't free when you work for someone else because you don't actually feel like you have the conscious choice to decide, I don't want to go to work today because I don't feel like it. My body's calling for rest and then you might feel an obligation to be somewhere else, right? So you can feel inhibited, or another term would be trapped, when you feel like a decision actually isn't yours to make, it's actually being made by someone else. So, as I mentioned that, I encourage you to think about now places in your life where you might feel like you don't have the freedom that you desire. And then look at what questions might be there, right? Or what choices are being made there that have you not feeling the most free, right? So for me, like I said, I gave that example of working for someone else because this is a place in my life where I felt like this is inhibiting a whole lot of my freedom. I remember being in my corporate job and, first of all, not being able to make more money or not really having the time to make more money because I felt like I was like sleeping at my desk sometimes. Like, as in, I was there from like 8 in the morning to like 9 at night. And it just felt like that was my life. And I was making an entry level salary and I only had 2 weeks vacation. Like, it just felt very inhibiting. It felt very contracting to my energy body. And the reason why is because I didn't feel like I had the conscious choice to not show up to work if I didn't feel like it, or the conscious choice to go on a Euro trip for 2 months, right? Like, I just didn't, if I was going to be in that job, I didn't have that choice of freedom. So, like I said, I encourage you to look at your life and ask yourself, where do I feel inhibited? Where do I feel like I don't have the life that I desire, and what would then be the conscious choice, or what is the choice that I'm desiring to be able to make? Ask yourself if you can make that choice today. And with that, I would love to invite each of you into the Digital Nomad Academy. This is everything that I've learned about being a digital entrepreneur and building a digital empire in the last 6 years, packaged into 6 months. This is an incredible program with immense value, and it's here to empower you to access more freedom in your life, right? So you don't have to be, let's say, a digital nomad to enter into this course or have a desire to live into a different country. It's about creating and generating income online so that you can actually travel the world if you want to. You can choose when you want to have vacations. You can choose your working hours. You can choose what your business structure looks like, and you can choose how many hours you want to work. Right? We didn't come to planet Earth to just work 9 to 5 jobs or like 8 to 9 p.m. jobs like I was working. We didn't come for that, right? We didn't come for capped levels of income. We came here for expansion. We came here for growth. We came here for massive opportunities. And that is my gift to you through the Digital Nomad Academy. So I encourage you to sign up if it's resonating for you. This program is only available for a limited time, and it's only going to be available at this price during this launch. Each time that I launch it, well, first of all, you have course content for life, but each time I launch it, it's going to increase in price naturally as I create and add more modules, more training videos, et cetera, et cetera. So if this is aligning with you, I encourage you to sign up. There is a payment plan available, and I would love to see you inside, tapping into your gifts, creating the life of your dreams, and accessing new levels of freedom for you. You have the conscious choice, so I encourage you to make it. Sending so much love, and have a beautiful, abundant day. Thank you for listening to Note to Self. If you enjoyed this episode, please help me out by rating and reviewing this show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If my energy is resonating with you and you feel the call to work with me, there are an abundance of ways to do so. I offer one-to-one life coaching programs, mastermind containers, and DIY courses, all of which are available through my website, zoearielpoulsen.com. Until next time, take note of all the abundance that surrounds you as you make the most of this game called life.